And small habits you need to know, because they will change your life forever. What if the secret to achieving your greatest dreams lies not in shouting them to the world, but in guarding them in silence? Imagine a life where your actions speak louder than your words, where your results stun others because they never saw them coming. This isn't about secrecy, it's about strategy, about understanding that your energy, focus, and momentum are precious resources that thrive in quiet determination. The urge to share our plans, to seek validation or applause, is human, yet it often sabotages our progress. The more we talk, the less we do. Today, we'll explore the profound philosophy of keeping your ambitions close, letting your achievements do the talking, and harnessing the power of discretion to transform your life. Through stories, insights, and practical wisdom, we'll uncover why silence is your greatest ally on the path to success. The energy of intention. Why sharing drains. Every dream begins with a spark, an intention that ignites your motivation. This energy is like a flame, fragile in its early stages, requiring careful tending to grow into a blaze. Yet, when you share your plans prematurely, you release some of that energy. Each conversation, each announcement, disperses a piece of the fire that fuels your actions. It's not that sharing is inherently wrong, it's that sharing too soon, with too many people, can dilute the very drive you need to move forward. Psychologically, this has a name: the social reality effect. When you declare your goals, say, I'm starting a business or I'm writing a book, you create a sense of accomplishment in your mind. The nods, smiles, and encouragement from others feel like progress, but they're an illusion. You haven't taken a single step, yet your brain registers a reward, reducing the urgency to act. Studies, like one from NYU in 2009, show that publicizing goals can decrease motivation, as the external validation mimics the satisfaction of achievement. Over time, the dream that once burned brightly feels less pressing, and the hard work required to make it real gets postponed. Consider Emily, a graphic designer with a vision to launch her own studio. She was bursting with ideas and couldn't resist sharing them at every coffee meetup or family gathering. Friends cheered her on, and she thrived on their excitement. But months passed, and her studio remained a concept. The more she talked, the less she designed, planned, or pitched clients. The validation she received from sharing created a false sense of progress, sapping her momentum. Eventually, her enthusiasm faded, and the dream slipped away. Emily's story is a reminder. Talking about your plans can feel good, but it often comes at the cost of doing. Contrast this with David, a software developer who quietly built a mobile app. He shared his idea only with a trusted mentor and a close friend, focusing his energy on coding and testing. For a year, he worked in silence, refining his product without fanfare. When he launched the app, it gained thousands of downloads inside weeks, stunning his peers who had no idea he was working on it. David's success wasn't just in his technical skills, it was in his discipline to protect his energy and let his results speak. This principle isn't new. Historical figures like Thomas Edison embodied it. Edison didn't announce every experiment in his quest for the light bulb. He worked tirelessly in his lab, letting his breakthrough, a practical, incandescent bulb, shock the world. His silence wasn't secretive, it was strategic, preserving his focus and momentum until he had something tangible to show. The lesson? Your intentions are a finite resource. Guard them carefully and channel them into action rather than words. The common perils of oversharing: doubt, distraction, and envy. Why do we feel compelled to share our plans? It's rooted in our social nature. Humans crave connection, approval, and validation. In the age of social media, platforms like X amplify this urge, rewarding us with likes, comments, and shares for every update. A post about your new project can spark instant gratification, feeding the need to feel seen. But this comes with risks. Oversharing exposes your dreams to 3 destructive forces: doubt, distraction, and envy. Doubt, the seeds of uncertainty not. Everyone who hears your plans will champion them. Some, whether out of skepticism or their own insecurities, will question your ideas. They might say, "That's a tough market," or "Are you sure you can pull that off?" These comments, even if well-intentioned, plant seeds of doubt. If you're not careful, they take root, making you second-guess your vision. Suddenly, the goal that felt achievable seems daunting, and your confidence wanes. Take Michael, who dreamed of leaving his corporate job to start a consulting firm. He shared his plans with colleagues, hoping for support. Most were encouraging, but a few raised concerns. Consulting is unstable, or you'll need a big client base. Their words lingered, fueling his fears about financial risk and competition. Over time, doubt eroded his resolve, and he stayed in his job, letting his dream fade. Had Michael kept his plans private, he might have navigated those uncertainties with clearer focus, free from external skepticism. Doubt isn't just external. It can creep into your own mind. Sharing your plans too early, before they're fully formed, invites scrutiny that can amplify your insecurities. A 2010 study in psychological science found that premature feedback on goals can increase self-doubt, especially when the feedback is critical. By keeping your plans close, you protect your confidence, giving your ideas time to solidify before facing the world's opinions. Distraction. The noise of others' voices, sharing your plans also invites distractions. People will ask questions, offer suggestions, or share their own stories, pulling you away from your focus. Every conversation becomes a detour, requiring you to explain or justify your vision. This mental energy, spent defending your ideas, is energy you're not investing in action. Consider Lisa, an aspiring novelist. She loved discussing her book idea with friends, detailing her characters and plot. They'd respond with questions or advice. "Have you thought about this twist?" Or, "Maybe change the setting." While well-meaning, these discussions consumed hours, leaving little time for writing. Lisa found herself revising her outline endlessly, distracted by others' input. When she stopped sharing and focused on writing, her first draft took shape in months. Her story shows that external voices, even supportive ones, can scatter your focus if you let them in too soon. Distraction isn't just about time, it's about mental bandwidth. The brain can only process so much at once. A 2017 study from Stanford found that multitasking, like juggling conversations about your goals while working on them, reduces efficiency by up to 40%. By keeping your plans private, you create a mental sanctuary where your ideas can grow without interference, allowing you to stay laser-focused on the work that matters. Envy. The silent saboteur. Finally, there's envy, a subtle but potent threat. Not everyone will celebrate your ambition. Some, consciously or unconsciously, resent your drive because it highlights their own inaction. Their negativity, sarcastic remarks, backhanded compliments, or passive-aggressive comments can drain your energy and undermine your confidence. Rachel, a photographer, learned this the hard way. She posted regular updates about her new portrait, business on social media, sharing her progress and bookings. Most followers were supportive, but a few peers made snide remarks. "Must be nice to book so many clients," or "Your style's a bit trendy, don't you think?" These comments chipped away at her enthusiasm, making her question her work. When she went offline and focused on her craft, her confidence returned, and her business thrived. Rachel's experience underscores that envy, even from those you trust, can derail your momentum if you expose your plans too widely. Envy isn't always overt. A 2015 study in social psychology found that people often feel subconscious resentment toward others' success, especially when it contrasts with their own stagnation. By keeping your plans private, you shield yourself from this negativity, preserving your energy for the work that drives your success. The power of discretion, protecting your focus. Discretion is the antidote to these dangers. It's not about being secretive or aloof. It's about being intentional, recognizing that your dreams are fragile in their infancy and need protection to grow. Keeping your plans close creates a quiet space where your ideas can take root, free from doubt, distraction, and envy. It's like building a greenhouse for your ambitions, providing the right conditions for them to flourish. Discretion also gives you control over your narrative. When you share your plans, you invite others to shape your story. Their opinions, questions, and criticisms become part of your mental landscape, influencing your decisions. But when you work in silence, you define your path. You decide what matters, how to proceed, and when to reveal your progress. This autonomy is liberating. It frees you from external expectations and lets you move at your own pace. Take James, a marathon runner in his 50s. He decided to train for his first race but kept it private, sharing only with his coach. He woke early to run, building endurance without fanfare. When he crossed the finish line, his friends were stunned. They had no idea he'd been training. Their admiration was genuine, not because he'd hyped his goal, but because he'd achieved it quietly. James's discretion allowed him to focus on his training, free from the pressure of others' expectations. Discretion also builds momentum. Momentum is the forward motion created by consistent action. When you're not talking about your plans, you're not wasting energy justifying them or seeking approval. Every moment spent working, rather than explaining, adds to your progress. A 2018 study from the Journal of Applied Psychology found that focused, uninterrupted work increases productivity by 25%. By staying silent, you maintain a rhythm, each step reinforcing the next until you've made significant strides. Historically, discretion has been a hallmark of great achievers. Leonardo da Vinci kept detailed notebooks of his inventions but shared them sparingly, protecting his ideas until they were ready. His Mona Lisa wasn't unveiled with previews. It debuted as a masterpiece, shocking the art world. Discretion allowed him to refine his work without interference, ensuring its impact was profound. Like Da Vinci, you can harness silence to perfect your craft and amplify your results. The element of surprise, letting results. One of the most compelling benefits of discretion is the element of surprise. When you work quietly, without dropping hints or seeking praise, your achievements have a greater impact. People are caught off guard, marveling at what you've accomplished because it seemed to come from nowhere. This isn't about showing off, it's about letting the quality of your work take center stage. Consider Sarah, who dreamed of opening a bakery. For years, she perfected her recipes, saved money, and scouted locations, all in silence. She didn't post about her progress or seek investors. When she opened her shop, the community was amazed. Her pastries sold out daily, and local media hailed her as a rising star. Sarah's success wasn't just in her baking, it was in her discipline to let her results speak, creating a buzz that no announcement could match. This principle echoes through history. Steve Jobs was a master of surprise, unveiling Apple products like the iPhone with minimal leaks. The secrecy built anticipation, making each launch a global event. Jobs understood that results, revealed at the right moment, carry more weight than promises. Your achievements, when unveiled without preamble, have a similar power. They command attention and respect. Surprise also enhances credibility. A 2016 study in management science found that unexpected successes are perceived as more authentic than heavily promoted ones. When you let your work speak, others see your effort as genuine, not a bid for attention. This authenticity builds trust, whether you're launching a product, publishing a book, or achieving a personal goal. Selective sharing. Timing and trust. Does this mean you should never share your plans? Not at all. Sharing can be valuable for accountability, feedback, or collaboration. But it requires timing and discernment. In the early stages, when your vision is fragile, keep it private. This is when doubt and distraction are most damaging. Focus on building a foundation. Test your ideas, take action, and refine your approach. Once you've made progress, share selectively with a trusted circle. These should be people who genuinely support your growth, mentors, close friends, or colleagues with expertise. Even then, be sparing with details. Share enough to gain insight, not so much that you lose ownership of your vision. Think of it like a chef tasting a dish mid-cook. You seek feedback from a sous chef, not the entire restaurant. Mark, a startup founder, mastered this balance. He shared his app idea only with his co-founder and a mentor, using their feedback to refine his prototype. As the project advanced, he brought in a small team, sharing just enough to align their efforts. When the app launched, it was a hit, earning praise for its polish and innovation. Mark's selective sharing protected his focus while leveraging the right support at the right time. Research supports this approach. A 2014 study in organizational behavior and human decision processes found that feedback is most effective when sought after initial progress, as it builds on a solid foundation rather than derailing early efforts. Choose your confidants wisely and time your sharing to maximize impact. The freedom of silent work, embracing failure and growth working in silence, offers a profound freedom, the ability to fail quietly. Success is rarely linear. It's a journey of trial and error, setbacks and pivots. Under public scrutiny, every misstep feels magnified, inviting criticism or embarrassment. But in silence, you can experiment, make mistakes, and learn without judgment. This space is where growth happens. Alex, a musician, wanted to record his debut album. Nervous about sharing unfinished work, he kept his project private, spending a year writing and recording. He scrapped songs, rewrote lyrics, and tested sounds, learning from each failure. When he released the album, it was a cohesive masterpiece, earning critical acclaim. Alex's silent process gave him the freedom to refine his art without external pressure. This freedom is critical in the early stages, when uncertainty is high. A 2019 study from Harvard Business Review found that private experimentation increases innovation by allowing risk-taking without fear of failure. Silence creates a safe haven where you can test ideas, adapt, and grow, building confidence through action rather than approval. Silent work also fosters self-reliance. When you don't seek external validation, you learn to trust your instincts. You become attuned to your vision, making decisions based on your judgment rather than others' opinions. This inner strength is a cornerstone of success, enabling you to navigate challenges with clarity and resilience. Confidence. Through action, building a track record. Every action you take in silence builds a track record, a series of small wins that prove your capability. These wins, whether completing a task or overcoming a challenge, reinforce your belief in yourself. Unlike external praise, which fades quickly, this internal confidence is lasting, fueling your motivation to keep going. Claire, a non-profit founder, started her organization quietly, researching funding and meeting educators without fanfare. Each step, drafting a mission, securing a grant, built her confidence. When she launched her nonprofit, it impacted thousands of students, and her quiet determination inspired her team. Claire's confidence didn't come from applause, it came from her consistent, silent efforts. This aligns with self-efficacy theory, which posits that mastery experiences, small, successful actions, are the most powerful source of confidence. By working privately, you accumulate these experiences, creating a foundation of belief that propels you forward. Each task completed, each obstacle overcome, is a brick in the wall of your self-assurance. Results as your advertisement. The ripple. Effect your results are your best advertisement. When you achieve something significant, people notice without you saying a word. Your success creates ripples, drawing attention and admiration in ways that promises never could. This is the beauty of silent work. Your actions carry a weight that words lack. Robert, a community organizer, transformed a vacant lot into a thriving garden. He worked alone for months, clearing debris and planting crops. When the garden bloomed, neighbors were amazed, joining in to help. Robert's garden became a community hub, not because he announced his plans, but because he made them real. His results spoke louder than any flyer or post. This principle is timeless. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter in obscurity, sharing it only when it was ready. The book's release sparked a global phenomenon, not because of hype, but because of its quality. Your achievements, when revealed, through action, have a similar power. They inspire, influence, and endure. A 2020 study in Journal of Marketing found that organic success driven by results rather than promotion, builds stronger loyalty and trust. When your work speaks, it resonates deeply, creating a legacy that outlasts fleeting praise. Protecting your focus. The currency of success focus is your most valuable asset. It's the ability to channel your energy toward a single goal, cutting, and through distractions to make progress. But focus is fragile, easily disrupted by external voices or competing demands. Sharing your plans invites these disruptions, questions, suggestions, or doubts that pull you off course. Sophia, a product designer, was tasked with creating a new line for her company. Instead of discussing her ideas with colleagues, she worked alone, sketching and prototyping. She shared progress only with her boss, and only when she had tangible designs. Her focus paid off, a stunning collection that earned her accolades. Sophia's silence protected her attention, allowing her to produce exceptional work. Neuroscience backs this. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for focus, is limited in capacity. A 2016 study from MIT found that external interruptions reduce cognitive performance by up to 20%. By keeping your plans private, you minimize these interruptions, creating a mental space where your ideas can thrive. The long game. Success as a quiet journey. Silent success is about playing the long game. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, it's tempting to seek quick validation through sharing. But lasting achievements take time, effort, and resilience. By working quietly, you give yourself the space to grow, learn, and refine your craft without the pressure of external timelines. Anna and Miguel, a couple who opened a restaurant, spent years saving, planning, and perfecting their menu in silence. When they launched, their restaurant was a hit, with packed tables and rave reviews. Their success wasn't sudden. It was the result of quiet, persistent effort, revealed only when ready. This approach mirrors nature. A tree grows slowly, its roots spreading unseen before its branches soar. Your efforts, though invisible at first, build a foundation for lasting success. A 2017 study in Nature Communications found that delayed gratification correlates with higher achievement, as it fosters discipline and focus. Silence is your ally in this patient, powerful journey. Practical applications, living the philosophy. How can you apply this philosophy? Start with these steps. Write your goals privately. Record your dreams in a journal or app, keeping them sacred. This clarifies your vision without exposing it to scrutiny. Choose trusted confidants. Share sparingly with mentors or close allies who uplift you. Limit details to maintain ownership. Focus on action. Each day, take one small step toward your goal. Write a page, research a market, practice a skill. Let progress be your validation. Embrace quiet failures. Experiment and learn from mistakes. Without public pressure. Each failure is a step toward mastery. Reveal results strategically. Share your achievements when they're polished, maximizing impact. Let your work surprise and inspire. Try a 30-day challenge. Pick one goal and keep it private. Work on it daily, tracking progress in a journal. Resist the urge to share, even on social media. At the end, reflect on your momentum and confidence. You'll likely find that silence amplified your focus and results. Expanding the philosophy. Broader implications. This philosophy extends beyond personal goals. It applies to teams, businesses, and communities. Companies like Tesla often develop products in secrecy, unveiling them with maximum impact. Teams that limit early feedback to key stakeholders maintain clarity and momentum. Communities that work quietly, organizing, building, collaborating, create change that resonates deeply when revealed. Culturally, silence challenges our obsession with visibility. Social media rewards oversharing, but true influence comes from substance. Movements like minimalism or slow living echo this, prioritizing depth over noise. By embracing silence, you align with a timeless wisdom that values impact over attention. Psychologically, silence fosters mindfulness. It encourages you to be present with your work, savoring the process rather than rushing for approval. A 2021 study in mindfulness found that focused, solitary work increases well-being by 15%, as it reduces external stress. This inner peace enhances your creativity and resilience, making you a stronger creator of your future. Stories of silent success. Let's explore more stories to illustrate this philosophy's power. Maya, the educator. Maya wanted to reform her school's curriculum. Instead of announcing her plans, she researched best practices and piloted changes in her classroom. Her students' improved performance caught the administration's attention, leading to school-wide adoption. Maya's silent work created systemic change. Liam, the inventor. Liam spent years developing a sustainable energy device in his garage. He shared only with a patent attorney, avoiding hype. When he unveiled his prototype, investors clamored to fund it. Liam's discretion ensured his idea remained his own until it was ready. Elena, the athlete. Elena trained for a triathlon without telling her social circle. Her quiet dedication led to a top finish, surprising her peers. Her achievement inspired others to pursue fitness, proving that results motivate more than promises. These stories show that silent success isn't just personal. It inspires others. When your work speaks, it becomes a beacon, encouraging those around you to act with focus and purpose. Overcoming challenges, staying silent in a noisy world. Living this philosophy isn't easy. Our culture celebrates sharing, and resisting the urge to post or talk requires discipline. Here are common challenges and how to overcome them. Temptation to share. Social media makes sharing addictive. Counter it by journaling your progress. Privately, it satisfies the urge to express without exposing your plans. Set a rule: no sharing until you've hit a milestone. Seeking validation. Craving approval is natural. Build internal validation by celebrating small wins. Check off tasks, reflect on growth. Reward yourself with non-social treats, like a favorite meal or hobby. Pressure from others. Friends or family may ask, "What are you working on?" Respond vaguely, "Just exploring some ideas." Redirect the conversation to their interests, keeping your plans safe. Fear of isolation. Silence can feel lonely. Connect with a small, trusted group who share your values. Schedule regular check-ins to stay motivated without oversharing. Mindfulness practices, like meditation or deep breathing, can strengthen your resolve. A 2022 study in Frontiers in Psychology found that mindfulness increases self-control by 20%, helping you resist external pressures. Over time, silence will feel empowering, not restrictive. The legacy of silent success. Silent success creates a legacy of substance. Unlike fleeting fame from viral posts, achievements built quietly endure. They're rooted in effort, resilience, and authenticity, resonating with others long after the spotlight fades. Think of inventors, artists, or leaders whose work changed the world, not because they shouted, but because they delivered. Your legacy begins with your next choice. Will you talk about your dreams or act on them? Will you seek applause or results? The philosophy of silent success invites you to choose action, to trust your process, and to let your work shine. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise that your energy, focus, and dreams are worth protecting. Conclusion: a call to action. The art of silent success is a mindset, a strategy, and a way of life. It's about recognizing that your greatest achievements grow in the quiet moments, away from the noise of the world. By keeping your plans private, you protect your focus, build momentum, and amplify your results. You give yourself the freedom to fail, learn, and grow without judgment. And when you succeed, your work will speak with a power that words alone could never convey. Start today. Choose one dream, write it down, and commit to working on it in silence. Take a small step, research, practice, create, and let each action build your confidence. Resist the urge to share, even when it feels tempting. Surround yourself with a few trusted allies who uplift you, and let your results be your announcement. Over weeks, months, or years, you'll see the fruits of your quiet labor. A life transformed not by what you said, but by what you did. This philosophy isn't about hiding. It's about honoring your potential. It's about trusting that your work, done with focus and intention, will create ripples that touch the world. So guard your dreams, nurture your focus, and let your actions speak. The path to true success is quiet, steady, and yours to walk.